Nerd Lag Game Club.
Welcome to the Nerd Lag Game Club podcast, the podcast where we play games instead of reading books. I'm Corey, and I'm joined by 4 party members today. Lauren.
Hey.
Tonsa.
What's up?
Tony.
How you guys doing?
And Danboy.
Hello.
In this episode of the Game Club, we're going to lead our gritty band of Romans and play 2013's Ryse, Son of Rome. Ryse, Son of Rome was developed by Crytek and published by Xbox Game Studios. Crytek is by no means a small studio and is well known for their Crysis game franchise. Before we get any further into Ryse, Son of Rome, I want to give the spoiler warning, and I would recommend playing this before listening to this episode. This was our game for July, and I'm going to give a brief summary of the story for Ryse, Son of Rome. Alright, so Son of Rome is set in an alternative version of Rome. You play as Marius, and I guess he had a last name, guys. I didn't know that, but it's Titus. As he leads the defense of the Romans against barbarians, and some other things happen along the way, with, the rulers of Rome and just the situations you're put into. A lot of combat and blood and cutscenes as the story progresses. Basically, Marius's only motivation is to get revenge for his family, as that eventually spirals out of control. And that's pretty much a brief summary without diving too far into the story quite yet. Each episode, we break up the main points of the game between us. Starting with gameplay mechanics, Tonsa is going to tell us about those for Ryse, Son of Rome.
All right. I guess gameplay mechanics would be, it's got the sort of similar Batman kind of beat 'em up. I mean, they kind of capitalize on that. Like every game was doing that kind of combat, like counter, block, and just like light attack, all being like the same buttons, and everything's done counter based. You had executions you could do by leveling up. You got to get more. There was abilities like slowing down time. You could switch between getting more XP per execution, health back per execution, focus. I don't know what the fourth one is.
I don't know. I didn't use any of these, so.
Yeah, I used the XP one. I don't remember what the fourth one is.
It was
Focus.
the focus, the damage,
Focus,
the XP,
damage,
and then
health.
health.
XP. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so it's damage. All right, yeah. So that's basically the gist of it. I mean, you had your counter, like they flashed red for like strike, yellow for parry, red for block or unblockable.
Oh, I
abilities.
I want to stop just for a second because Lauren played this on the Steam Deck, and I was telling her because I was playing it with an Xbox controller, I was like, "Oh, they like a blue, yellow, red, whatever you need to hit," and she's like, "Yeah, that didn't integrate well." So, Lauren, how about you tell them about your experience with that?
So, for anybody that doesn't know what a Steam Deck looks like, all of the buttons and everything are black. So, when it pops up those colors, I had no idea what I was supposed to do and which buttons were which. So, there would be times where it would flash yellow, I would hit X. That was obviously the wrong answer. X is blue, Y is yellow. I don't know, it said that it was optimized for the Steam Deck, and besides that, it played really well. It's just, there was no indication, there was no way for me to know that.
I think it tells you in the tutorial, but it would have just said like light slash. I don't think it would have told you the colors.
Right.
Because it would have been because this was like heavy attack, this was light, and I feel like and they were like color coordinated in that. But yeah, I understand.
Yeah, so that was a little rough until I figured it out anyways. I mean, I didn't execute anybody till the very end of the game anyways.
What did you beat me to death? In a wet noodle?
Yeah, I didn't even know how to do it. Corey was like, "What do you mean you don't know how to do it?" And he was
Right there.
he's like, "It's a little skull, and then you hit the trigger." And I was like, "Oh, I just beat them until they died."
I feel like you attacked everybody probably 100 times.
Yeah, it made it so much easier after that.
Oh God, I'm sorry, Laura. I guess for gameplay, there's modes like there's an arena mode, which is really cool. I didn't check to see if multiplayer was still alive because I used to play that when this was because this game was a launch title. I played it with the Xbox One when it came out, and the arena was like popping because you actually got tier-based armor, and then you would compete in the gladiator arena. Basic combat moves. There's some collectibles along the way. I have no idea how you find them all because like I barely seen some of them.
A lot of it's like off the beaten path. Like you'd have to go like a complete different way of what you were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, in a game that's pretty linear, like there's only a couple times where it opened where you could take a like a path.
Yeah, like
At least for me, I didn't look really hard this time around.
I know like as you're going through like Rome towards the end of the game, there's like gates that you can break open and usually there's collectibles back there, but like they're so out of the way and they're just the lock is slightly yellow so that you can
Yeah.
even know that you can break it open. And I was like, well, this seems like a flaw in design, but I guess they just really wanted you to like explore
I think they
outside
wanted
of
me
just
to murder
running.
people. It's like that's what I did majority of the game. Skill. Actually, the whole game. As we think of.
Did you have anything else for gameplay?
Nah, I think that covers it.
All right, so we're going to dive into the art for Ryse, and Lauren is going to tell us about that.
So, Patrick Gamble was the only guy I could find listed as an artist when you just look it up on like Wiki, all that stuff. I did find like an article about the character artist, but I didn't write any of that down because all it shows is their name and what character they designed. That's it. There's no other info. It said it was an interview, but that's all they asked them. Like, okay, what character did you design? And then they told him. That was it. So, all my info is about Patrick Gamble because he's the one I could find the most info about. He was the cinematic and gameplay animator for the game. Before he worked on Ryse, he worked as an animator for Boulder Media in Ireland for The Amazing World of Gumball as a 3D character animator. Which is pretty wild to me.
That show's that old.
Yeah, very. Other projects he worked for as an animator with Crytek when he was in Germany, he did Homefront 2, Evolve, Warface, and Hunt. And with DICE, which is, I guess, EA Digital Illusions in Sweden, he did Battlefield 1, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Battlefield 5, Need for Speed Heat, and Battlefield 2042.
Yikes.
Oh, yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah, now he's working for a company called Liquid Swords in Sweden since December of 2021, but there's no games listed under him for that studio, so I don't know what he's working on there, but he's been kind of bouncing around from location to location for a couple years, so I mean, he's got some pretty big name titles under his belt though, so
He's got an all AAA basically.
yeah.
Is he Swedish then? Because he works like almost exclusively for Sweden branches of these companies.
Yeah, I think so because that's where like it even started. Or no, he started in Ireland. And then he worked in Germany and then Sweden and then another one in Sweden. So he's currently in Sweden, but I don't know if that's originally where he's from.
It's pretty interesting. He's got definitely a resume.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. And he's like the senior animator and all that for those companies. So he's a high up person.
Well, I think the cutscenes in this are like one of the high points for sure. Even years later, they look really good.
Oh, definitely. I even said that. I was like, man, like, if this was just like all the cutscenes as a movie, I'd watch it. It looked good. It played well even on my Steam Deck. I mean, it pushed my fans on it real hard. It was cranking out heat, but it looks really good still.
So,
yeah, I mean it's really good. I mean the thing, the benefit of doubt it is a demo game. It was just like a launch title.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Just show
the
off
only
that.
launch title that Xbox had when the Xbox One came out.
Yeah, this and because I had this in 2K.
Well, yeah, but it was previous year of 2K.
Yeah, but I for like being a launch title and like doing good. I mean, it's competing with like Infamous Second Son, being PS4's launch title, which is also a great game. But it held up way better than I expected. Looked good. Just that combat kind of, I don't know. It's been used so often, so much that it's just kind of overdone.
Right.
So I don't know if I was like playing on like low settings or anything, but I didn't think it looked like that great. I thought it looked kind of just meh.
What'd you play on?
But I also
What did you
like I
play it
put it
on?
into the perspective. I played on my Series X,
Okay.
but I took into the consideration that it was like a Xbox One launch title. So I was like, it's been like what 8 years since then, 9 years.
Almost
I was like,
10. Yeah,
Yeah,
almost 10.
it'd
so
be
I
about
was like,
9.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it just to me it didn't hold up as well in the graphics scheme. But
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it looked pretty good, so I don't know.
Playing on PC, so and I thought it looked great.
I just had to turn motion blur off. That was my only. But that's like I do that with every game.
oh, I probably should have turned that off.
Yeah.
Aw.
All right, Dan. How about you tell us about sound design and music for Ryse Son of Rome?
Oh my gosh, so I did my research this time. I could
Oh,
actually
shit.
find things about the soundtrack for once.
Clap, clap, clap,
But
clap.
the soundtrack for this game was made by, and I'm gonna butcher this name. It is Borislav Slavov. Don't know if I said that right.
We'll go
But
with it. We'll run
anyways,
with it.
yeah, thank you. So he basically started in the game industry of like composing for different games in 2001. And the first one he worked on was a strategy, real-time strategy game called Knights of Knights of Honor. I don't know why I couldn't say that. It was like the hardest words I've ever used together.
They're big. They're big words. I got it.
Yeah, big words. And then after that, he worked on Two Worlds 2, World Shift as the composer, and Gothic 3 as a featured musician. I don't know what any of those games are. So
The Gothic I
don't
know, and Two Worlds I know.
Yeah,
Mm,
they're RPG. They're RPGs.
okay, gotcha. And then in 2009, he joined Crytek, and then he worked on Ryse, Crisis 2, and Crisis 3 as the music director and principal composer. And then in the later kind of years, he's just been specializing in production. I feel like just doing anything,
Yeah, given
like
his
gaming.
knowledge.
Yeah.
Anything on sound design, or was there not much about that?
Oh, there wasn't much about that. Yikes.
Yeah, I mean the sound's good. He composed the music, which I don't fully really remember the music.
For the most part, I feel like the best way to describe the music would be it was very movie like.
Like cinematic.
Like if you're what yeah, that's how I would put it. Like you're just watching a movie and then, people are like fighting, there's like the sounds kind of coming in, making the scenes all
cinematic.
empathetic or whatever, dramatic, yeah.
Yeah.
The sound effects
Yeah,
are good
you get it.
though, like the clash of the shields and the swords, and the characters like groaning when you chop their arm off or whatever.
Yeah, I really liked whenever someone would shoot like an arrow and you could like deflect it with your shield. That was really nice. Sounded nice.
The sound effect that like stuck with me the most was when you stab someone in the throat and they start like gargling blood.
Oh my god, that was so cool.
And they're like, ugh, and you're like, oh shit, like that's legit.
What it sounds like.
Yeah, like that's like legit. Well, we're kind of transitioning as we talk about sound and stuff. So how about we just open up the floor and just talk about anything that made an impact? Tony, you haven't really talked too much, so how about you open us up for this one?
This is a pretty good game. That's why I picked it for this month. I didn't like fighting the chick. What was her name? The girl with the two swords.
Boudica?
Yeah,
Boudica.
I fucking hated
Budokai,
her.
Dragon Ball Z Budokai.
Budokai, yeah, Budokai, whatever. I absolutely hated her, especially at the end of the game. Like the first fight was fine, you know, like you beat her down and then she sends in her minions and you have to finish them. Great, cool. But the second one, I fucking hated it because there were stages into it, and I fucking hate staged fights. Like you beat them down, we're gonna start back up at full health again. Well, why? Like, what's the point? It pissed me off. It absolutely pissed me off. I forgot about that part when, but then playing it, I was like, I remember this pissing me off when I played it the first time.
Yeah, I cheesed the shit out of her at the last boss fight. I kind of mentioned this to Lauren and Dan and Tonsa, I think, but I basically what I did is I Dark Souls boss fought her.
That's all I did. I just kept dodge rolling and just spamming her back. That's what I would do.
I would just roll away from her until she would like lunge with the like where it would like light up red.
Yeah.
And then I'd go and hit her once and then roll back out. I mean, the boss fight took forever, but I didn't even take a hit.
Okay.
So I like just cheesed her in that aspect because I was like, I'm not gonna try to figure out this blocking and like reflecting the attack and doing like perfect like perfect hits or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care enough. I was like, I'm just gonna roll so I don't die so I can finish the story. Like that's like I want to know where the story's going. This boss fight is just kind of here. It is
satisfying. Opposite. I learned the counter.
Same. That was the boss fight that made me learn how to actually fight at the very end of the game.
I only struggled with one is when she would do that like weird multi-spinning.
Yeah, like, where she'd spin in the air and shit.
Yeah, because that one took me a minute to counter. The one they were all kind of easy. It took me I think 3 tries. Again, total. First time I got rolled. Next time I was like, oh, I have to block at this point. Next time I learned the pattern, and then I always got to that second phase.
During that fight, she does that like it's like almost like she does like a backspin kind of almost like a helicopter move.
Mm-hmm.
And during that, the animation is so piss poor. It's so bad. Like her feet like don't actually move if you watch them. They just kind of slide across the ground. At least that's what it was doing on my game. And I was like, why? Why does this like I was streaming it at the time and I was talking to my chat and I'm like, why does this look so bad? Like it's just that animation. Everything else she does is fine, but just that. It's just like she's like sliding across the ground like towards me, like not walking, just sliding, like moonwalking or something.
I had to pay attention to like her, like I had to pay attention to her abilities. So I was like watching like certain points where she would raise, like you had to block if like she raised her arms up so high for like the one. So I was like always just watching like movement. So like I didn't even notice her feet.
Oh, it was so bad. It is very satisfying though once you finally kill her.
I do like that they were like, hey, in another life, this we could have had something.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, gotta kill her.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yes, do it, Marius, kill her right now. All right. A thing, I guess that it's just a really short little thing. Oh my god, how brutal is it when you shoot her elephant directly in the eye?
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Absolutely. Or how about the first Centurion, the blue guy? I forget what his name is. Your captain, your commander or whatever, where he took the spear and threw it and hit him directly in the fucking eye.
Yeah, they're deadly accurate. They have the best aiming precision of all time. I guess that they are Roman warriors, but still.
Yeah.
All right, that was my little short one. Anything from you guys, Dan, Lauren, Tonsa?
Yeah.
The best part or something.
All right, go ahead, Lauren.
So, I was playing the game in Corey's game room, playing on the Steam Deck, and there's that part where you're going back to the villa, and I was telling Dan about it too. There's like enemies come towards you, and there's water when you walk through like the courtyard looking area, and I was fighting them in the water. So then when I went to execute them with the shield, I was choking them underwater with the shield. And I was literally going, yeah, drown, bitch!
I'm pretty sure I heard you say that. Did you? Like, I was talking to Corey, like, over Discord, and yours in the background, like, drown. I was like, why is she laughing maniacally?
Yeah, I didn't know what she was talking about. Like, couldn't see her screen. I'm just like, all right, Lauren.
So I also had that encounter, but mine was during the arena games, because you start out in the water, like there's that, like that's where mine occurred, not in the middle of the street stuff. But yeah, I know exactly what Lauren's talking about. I was like, oh shit, this dude's kind of drowning. You could hear it, but like him trying to breathe, and it's just like bubbling water. It's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. It was a good little thing that happened.
A nice little attention to detail.
Yeah, I liked it.
Another small one is when you get into the woods, like after you capture the king of the barbarians, and you get ambushed by like those guys that are in there. You can kick people off of the cliff, like Sparta kick them off.
Yeah.
So the whole time I was fighting those people, I was just like, all right, come over to this ledge. Let me get a couple hits in so I could do this special execution, just because I like to just Sparta kick them off. Made me feel powerful.
I'm trying to think. I would say like the arena itself, just fighting, doing that is done really well in the story. Also, there's aliens, right? How'd they get that technology?
Yeah, I said it too.
Yeah.
You like go into the arena and like the floor comes down and like new things come up and it's like raising and lowering and like shifting and like I'm like, what is this technology? I was like, did they have this? That's kind of, I don't remember this.
I know they had like the pylons come out because like the floor underneath is hollow, but like they were like shifting like grass, like it looked
trees
so
were
cool.
coming up.
Yeah, yeah.
It was like,
and I was like, oh, aliens,
like rotating blocks.
Yeah.
His that boss fight in the arena sucks too because it's a 3-stage boss fight.
Oh yeah, I was pissed about that one too, man. But that one wasn't as bad as the chicks as.
It was easy. It was the same move every time.
Yeah.
Well, you could just deflect them.
It wasn't as bad as hers.
Yeah,
it made his better.
It made it easier.
He did the same move.
She was so much easier.
I died to her, so it makes her harder. I didn't die to him. Actually, we're gonna talk about worst part ever. You know where my timing must have been wrong or something on the spears that came out of the ground.
The
There's
traps?
like 3 in a row. I got stuck on one of them for a while. Like, I just kept mistiming it. I don't know if my calibration's like wrong on my controller. Like, because every time I hit it, like I realized I had to hit it way early instead of hitting it late like normally would, like when it lights up. So I had to hit it. Yeah, so it happened like, I don't know, Corey, I was on Discord with you. It happened like 6 times in a row.
Yeah, you kept talking about it, and then that same area that you struggled with that.
You probably walked through it.
Well, I walked through it, but that's when my game froze and crashed.
Oh, maybe I need.
And I had to do all those traps all over again.
That happened to me after the tutorial stuff with his like parents and stuff. I had to redo that whole act because like it just closed on me.
Yeah, mine froze and then it just force closed. That's pretty much it for me. I don't have anything else really. The killing the Emperor at the end is very satisfying and extremely brutal.
The walk up to it's pretty cool, where you see him be like an almighty badass.
Yeah, he's like all this guards are coming out, and you're just like taking them down. Like at first it's just one at a time, and then like they start attacking you 2-on-1, and you're like getting stabbed, but you're still taking them out.
No, you fulfilled your mission, and it made you think that it was good. I liked it. It was good.
Oh, and Lauren mentioned the goddess that helps you throughout the whole game. How does her dress stay on?
Nemesis.
Yeah, why's her dress stay on? I don't think they had that technology back then.
I don't know. I'm not arguing.
She was a god. It just stuck to her.
Is that how that works? God
Yeah, I
think
shapes
so.
can have their clothes stick to them.
Yeah.
I think so.
I wasn't really thinking much about it.
It bothered me. I was like, no way does her dress stay on like this.
Dude, I didn't. Before I started playing this, nobody told me that there was titties in this game, and I was so happy.
Well,
I also didn't know, and I was fucking streaming. And I was like, ooh, yikes.
yikes.
Oh, we're covered.
Yeah,
With pasties on.
those-
I guess if they had pasties at that time.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the only other thing I would say is that, and we kind of touched it with like gameplay, the combat for me got really old really quick.
Yeah, really competitive, really quick.
Yeah, it's that structure that like I always call it the Batman format because like Batman and Assassin's Creed kind of formulate that became their thing.
Right.
And then like Assassin's Creed now is completely different, like their way they do their combat. And Batman, I'm assuming, is probably relatively the same.
Well, we haven't got to play the new Batman game yet, so we don't know. But all four of them, yes. All the other four, yes. Are about the same.
But yeah, I got to like the third mission, and like they throw in some like variants to the combat, but then I was like, I got to the point where I was just like, I don't know, this is just kind of boring. Like I just want the story.
That's where I was at. Once I got to the horn, what they call the horn people in the mountains, where you're in the dark forest or whatever. That was probably at the point where I was like, all right, let's just finish this fucking game. I'm getting kind of old with it.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, that's probably my biggest gripe overall with everything. But it's just like, okay, I've had enough. And it's just like sometimes it's just those segments are just so long, and they're just like, all right, kill these 4 guys, and then 4 more guys, and then 4 more guys, and then 4 more guys, and it's like, oh, now you can move forward, and it's like, oh, 10 guys, and it's like, oh, I just fought like a million people. I guess the last thing, because I just thought of it, the parts where you like line up with your other Roman soldiers and have to like block the arrows and stuff, kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I love that part.
Also, you want to talk about spears? How are we beating all those bow guys? You could like draw back and just, like
Yeah,
kill them. It's like, oh, okay.
yeah. You just throw it from like 100 yards
100
away.
yards away. Yeah.
And like you like charge it up, like, all right, everybody lock on, and then we're all perfect aim with 40 people. You're telling me they're not gonna shoot out of sync
Those
like one time?
those spears had like tracking devices or something on them. Alien technology, right, Tonsa?
Alien
Aliens.
technology.
The Romans are in accords with gods and fucking.
It is alternate.
aliens.
It is alternate Rome. You never know.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Aliens. Anything else,
Fuck
or
you, Dan.
good to move on?
Dude, I'll be honest. I didn't like the story. I felt like I mainly hated it because it starts at the end, and then you go into the little vault chamber thing with the emperor, and then you tell him the entire story leading up to it. And I felt like there's really no need for that. You could have just did it all, just did complete order.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to put a
I
spin
think they
on
just
it.
wanted to tell you the story of Debbie
Damocles.
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 I think that was their objective, is like to tell you that story.
Right.
No, I agree with Dan though. I think the way they told it, and then they could have done it just straight through. I don't think it would have impacted all that different.
I agree.
I like the story, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like it would have been the same impact.
It's very summer blockbustery. Like that's the vibe I got of the game. Is like this makes me think of like kind of how we went and played like or watched like Top Gun Maverick. Like it's just a summer blockbuster movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But how about we move on to time to completion? I took me 5.8 hours to finish this game, and I got. Go ahead.
5.1.
Yeah, I got probably around half of the collectibles.
Mine says 5.8.
Nice. Lauren?
Yeah, I wasn't really looking for any of the collectibles. If I came across them, I picked one, but like I wasn't searching for them.
Mine was 5.9.
I'm a better gamer.
Shut up.
What about you, Dan? What did you play this for? Like 3 hours? Mr. Speedrunner over there.
So I'm doing my time based off of my recordings because I recorded the entire playthrough, and they're in 2 different segments. So adding them all together, it was a little bit less than 5 hours. It was like 4 hours and like 47 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, Speedrunner Dan over here.
I was also max level at like the 5th chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I came downstairs and I'm like, you're already level 6? And you're like, yeah, why? And I'm like, because I didn't hit 6 until like mission 7 or something.
Dude, I'm pretty sure I hit like the 4th rank at like the 3rd mission. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, okay.
I hit it pretty early because of using. I
Yeah.
only used the XP.
Same.
One.
I didn't use anything. I just played it. I forgot that it even existed.
You just got health back all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
because it was defaulted at health.
yeah, that's all I ever got back.
Yeah.
So I never had like low health, but I also didn't get all the extra XP that you guys got.
I told them whenever I finished the game, I had like 500,000 more XP like left over.
The Valor points, yeah.
But yeah.
I think I did too. I had a lot. I bought like everything at the end though. Like I maxed out. Like I couldn't buy anything.
Nice. I think I had like some stuff, but I was like, eh.
Yeah.
Boo.
All right. Anything else before we go into recommendation?
Nah, mate.
Nope.
Guys are good?
Yep.
All right. Each episode we go around and find out if we would recommend the game we're playing and why or why not. So starting with Lauren this episode, would you recommend this game and why or why not?
So I would say as long as you're okay with gameplay that starts to feel a little monotonous after a while, like the combat portion of it anyways, then yeah, the story was super good. It looked good. I would have watched it as a movie. I even said that to Corey and he's like, you ever watch 300? I was like, no. So yeah, I mean, I would. It was on Game Pass?
If you have the console Game Pass, yeah.
Okay, yeah, and it was pretty cheap on Steam too, so like even price-wise, I don't have any complaints. Like, I thought it was good.
Yeah, we paid like $2 for this.
Yeah,
Yep.
I want to say it was like $2.99 or something like that.
Worth it.
All right, Tonsa?
Yeah. I mean, it held up. I played it back when it came out. The first game I had on the Xbox One. It was so I had it day one, and it was good. Then I played more of the arena. It's been long enough that I forgot most of the story and stuff. So going through it's cool. I didn't check out the arena, but at $2 and on $2.49 on Steam sale, and then it being retail for $9 on Steam is definitely worth $9. It's a hack and slash, so you'll be doing a lot of the same button combos and beating stuff up. So yeah, it's good for what it is.
Dan?
Yeah, I'll recommend it. I just, if you get past the whole, like Lauren said, the whole gameplay mechanics, then it's enjoyable. The story's good, despite my complaints about the story. But overall, it was fun. It was fine.
Tony?
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. It was a good game. Still held up when I played it back in 2013. In my opinion, it looked even better, but that was probably because I was playing on PC compared to the Xbox One. So for $2, you can't beat this pickup, honestly.
I think I would also recommend it, but I'm probably on the lower end of recommend. I like the story. I like how brutal the game is. Like they do really well with the executions, but it kind of lost my enjoyment, as I mentioned before, in like the third or fourth mission of the game, to the point where like I just wanted the conclusion to the story. I didn't really care about anything else. So I was just trying to kill enemies as quick as possible and like moving through sections just quickly, I guess. Yeah, it got to the point where like I was doing other things. Like I cheesed a boss, like just because I was just over the combat. So I would recommend it. The price point is if you can get it for $2 or whatever, like it's definitely worth a playthrough. The story's, like I said, brutal. It's pretty good. But at the lower end of recommend for me.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't go out of my way and say this is the best game ever. You should play this or do anything. But like, if you find yourself wanting a good action beat 'em up like hack and slash game, it fits that criteria.
Yeah, like I said, the way it does like executions and like how brutal it is enjoyable for a while. But then it's like, okay, we're still doing this. And I don't know how to solve that problem, but for me personally, it's a recommend, but with a grain of salt. But all right, towards the end of each episode, we dive into the review page of Steam and read some reviews for the game we're playing in a segment called Good, Bad, and Funny. So for every game we go into Steam, we find one good review, one bad review, and a review that we found funny. Tony, this is you, right, my man? Read us some reviews.
All right, so this one person that played the game for 14 hours. This is a good review. Game is a blast, gorgeous to look at, and very engaging. Highly recommended. All right, then we have somebody else. They played the game for 0.2 hours. The game was very boring, not optimized well on my PC, and I returned it. It says he got a full refund on it. It's like you didn't even give it a try. You played it for 20 minutes. And then there's a lot of people in here that just have like really good reviews. Solid Violet ROM made an age of oblivious to killing people. There are some fun conventions like turtle sections and that are bizarre in the setting, but you like the sort of cordial, enjoy the action. So like, there's just a lot of good stuff here.
I
A
found
lot of people were saying, a lot of people were having. There's one review on here that was mentioning something that Lauren said previously, where she was on the Steam Deck. Because the model flashes, and it's difficult to tell the colors for people that are color blind.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
So, so yeah, some people were having issues with that.
Yeah, accessibility wasn't really, it just recently started becoming a thing people think about.
Right.
I didn't even think about that while playing at all, and that's like
not-
ignorance on me.
Well, it's just something. I
Yeah.
mean, we're luckily like apparently not colorblind, but like it's things you don't realize. Like subtitles are very important for games, not just because like, or the same way dubs are very important too, because some people are like visually impaired. Like they could see the game, but they can't like read, read the words. But I found some funny reviews. Did you find some, Tony?
I didn't find anything that was like overly funny.
Oh, this one says biggest dickus. That's the review.
Where is that at? Because
Scroll down. And then there's one. Enough buying all those hentai games, soldier. We must protect Rome and Empire, the Roman Empire at all costs. For Rome! Or for the Empire, sorry. For Rome.
Yeah, same thing.
Wrong. Yeah, I added another thing. And there's that. Those were the funny ones that I came across. A lot of good reviews. Some just say it's like a cheesy action movie.
Okay, I see that one that you're. I see which one you're talking about now. That's way down there. Okay.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like it gets the typical like funny reviews that we find in some of the other games. But
I mean, those two were pretty good. I like those ones.
Yeah.
Not as many though. Not as many of like Oh, there's one. Beta Barbarians versus average Sigma Roman in hand. Anything that just makes not like an actual review is always funny to me. Like
This one's pretty good because it's 0.2 hours on record, so not even a half hour. They said, sorry, but this game sucks. Controls are very awkward and the story is weak. The only thing going for it is that I only paid $2.49 for it. I might try to play again at a later date. Sorry for the negative review. I'm breaking the norms here, but I have to be honest. This is like, what? Story's weak? You only played it for 15 minutes.
So what you got? You got like him talking to the Emperor, like in the little bunker.
I'm throwing this away.
Yeah, it's trash. I don't know. I don't know how we got here, but this is trash.
Call of Duty Roman warfare.
Basically.
Yeah, just anything that's not like a cut and place thing.
But, all right, you guys good for reviews?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so Dan has the pick for the month of August. So Dan is going to tell everyone what game we're playing and why he chose it.
Oh my god, I am. So we are gonna play Road 96.
Road 96.
A walking simulator game. It's on Game Pass.
It is on Game Pass.
I've seen this like multiple times, but I have no idea what it is.
Oh, same. I kind of don't.
Oh, walking simulator. That's all I know of it. And like you make
yeah.
It's something to do like late 90s or something. Something about news. There's like some propaganda shit.
Interesting. Is there a reason you chose it?
I basically chose it because I saw it forever ago, like when it first came out, and I was like, "Hey, I should play this one day," and then I never played it. Now I'm giving myself a reason to play it.
All right. Well, it looks like we're playing Road. What is it? Road 896?
96.
It's Road 96.
All right. Well, I guess that's going to be our game for the month of August. Any feedback on that, guys? Or
it's got a lot of good reviews here on Steam.
Yeah, I think it's similar to like Firewatch.
All right. Good?
Yep.
Great. I had a lot of fun today talking about Ryse, Son of Rome on NLGC. But before we go, we wanted to share where you can find us online.
First, we have a YouTube channel called Nerdlag where we'll be uploading some great content. So make sure to subscribe for the latest videos. We have a Facebook page at Nerdlag Game Club. Make sure to like the page so you can get the latest news about the podcast. You can also find us over on Twitter at Nerdlag, where we share some of the latest gaming news and stuff we find interesting. And lastly, we have a Discord at Nerdlag where you can talk to us in voice chat and join in some discussion about everything nerdy like video games, anime, movies, and chat with like-minded people. If you'd like to join, ask for an invite. We also want to thank everyone that tuned in for this episode, and if you enjoyed it, make sure you share it with your friends, and also follow us on Spotify. It really helps.
On to the final credits. At the end of every episode, we kind of just go around and talk about what we've been playing, any gaming news that sticks out to us, or just anything that's going on in life. So is there anything you guys want to talk about?
Raft update. We still have not played it.
Oh.
It's whole month has gone by.
Whole month.
Yeah,
so you guys are gonna have to restart because you're not gonna know where you are.
We know. We know where we're at.
They said no.
We played Valorant though.
Yeah, we played Valorant
or something.
Yeah, Tony tried Valorant. Tony got us to play PUBG for a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yikes!
I came back to the Dark World of World of Warcraft. Tried to say
I started rewatching the Harry Potters to get ready for the new Harry Potter game. So
I forgot about that game.
Yeah,
can't
comes
wait
out in December. It's gonna be great.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, I hope it's great. I'm on to like movie 5, so trying to like watch one every day or every other day.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't get delayed since it's just a December 2022 release.
Yeah.
Date.
Oh, it's gonna be delayed.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Everything's getting delayed now.
Everything is. So I mean, what else is new? We'll be waiting 2 years for that game too. So
I just have been continuing my Nino Kuni grind. Just playing that every day. Just do my daily stuff. That's pretty much it. That's I mean, I do my GameCube stuff on Twitch, but outside of that, I haven't really played anything for myself. Just been doing a lot of other stuff for Nerd Lag at this point, so that's where I've been at.
I don't really have anything. I haven't been playing anything except for our podcast games. I mean, I just got this. I was just telling Tonsa, I got Love Cammy Trilogy. So that just came in the mail, and I'm gonna open that at some point and try it out because it looks good.
Oh yeah,
I have those on Steam. I've never played them.
Yeah.
I just got my copy of Seven Pirates H as well, which is a super fan servicey RPG that takes place on a pirate ship.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
So dive into that. I do want to pick up Digimon Survive and Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but those are some investments, so one before the other.
About Digimon.
I've been trying to avoid everything online just because I don't want anything spoiled. So I think I'm going to start with Digimon and then go into Xenoblade.
I think Xenoblade would be the hard game for somebody to spoil because it's going to take them like a week to finish. Like,
that's true.
Well, like I'm waiting for like guy I work with is bought Xenoblade, so I'm gonna hear what he has to say and if it's just worth me just playing like 3 because it's so hard to. I should have bought 1 and 2, or I should have bought 2 forever ago. Now it's like too expensive for me.
All I know is that Xenoblade 3 can be played without playing the other 2.
Yeah. I just wanted to hear from him because he's like a big fan of it. I should.
Yeah, what I've been reading online, because I follow a lot of people that are really big in the Switch community, and they said that, like Corey said, you can play it without the other 2, but you'll enjoy the story more if you play the first 2.
Yeah, because they pay like homage to like the first 2 quite a bit, but
Mm-hmm.
like it's nothing that would take away from your experience with 3. Except for like those little nuggets that they put in there.
You guys have 2, right?
Yeah, I have 1 and 2.
I might have to borrow it off you guys or something. I don't think I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I was just looking on eBay. It's still sitting around $75.
Yeah, I know. I should have bought it forever ago. The DLC's just expensive.
Oh yeah, the DLC's also sitting at about $70 to $80.
So,
I looked at that.
To get the whole shebang, you're looking like $150 investment.
I got the DLC when we were on a road trip for like $25.
Yeah, I know. I think we've seen Xenoblade there for like 40 something.
Yeah.
Like just the normal one. And I was like, I'll get it. It's coming down, and then it skyrocketed right back up.
Oh, I'm sure it's gonna be even worse for people that want to play 3, and they're gonna be like, "Well, I need 2," because that's what happened when like East 9 came out. People were like, "Well, I gotta play 8. The community always says that it's great," and the price went up.
Yeah, at least I know I can borrow games from you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for a fee.
What?
You can just borrow mine.
For a fee.
No fee. Just bring it back the way you got it.
Well, what am I gonna do to it? But okay.
Hey, I don't know. Things can happen. I don't know what you do when you're alone.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what he does when he's alone.
You get hit with 230% interest if that comes back damaged.
Yeah.
Now. Crazy. I might not like video games as much as I thought.
All right, I'm good. Are you guys good?
Yeah.
I'm
good.
Yeah. I had fun having this little extra time at the end of the episode, but I think it's time for us to install the next game and get ready for the next episode. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.